where do you see the intersections between grassroots organizing and electoral politics? Because I think, you talked a little bit about inside-outside strategy, like the understanding of what it means to access power and that type of thing. So like, in terms of just thinking about your role now, like how do you bring about or bring not only what you knew and all the background that you had as a community organizer, but even thinking about how it intersects now?
Well, the main thing is relationships. Everybody thinks an organizer's job is to be right about the issue or to be the most learned on an issue. And that's not your job as an organizer. Your job as an organizer is to know people and for people to know you, so that when you call and say, hey, this is what we're doing, we need you to be down, they say, oh, I know Marcus, I'm rolling with him. Or, you know what, Kirk has been in the struggle for a long time. He says, this is where we need to be. This is where I'm going to be. And those relationships don't go away once you enter public office. Those relationships remain. And so it's just really the difference is this: the people who have my cell phone number are different than the people who have the cell phone number of the guy sitting next to me or the, other elected officials. And so the organizer, like there isn't an organizer in this city that doesn't know how to get to me.
What are the issues that you believe are most important to Black Angelenos right now? And how do you believe, as young Black Dems or Black Dems in this space, we should take action?
Affordable housing, because I always follow that up with affordable for who, right? Because that's really important. As well as addressing this homeless crisis and understanding that when you count homeless people, please don't forget all the people living in the motels, and please don't forget all the people who are couch surfing and sleeping in their cars at parks and other places, because sometimes we neglect to count those people, and there are a lot of Black people in those numbers. So that is our most pressing issue.
Got a few questions for you. And the main thing I want to talk about is just the current political climate, number one, when it comes to policing, when it comes to homelessness and other issues that are impacting the Black community.
And in regards to houselessness and policing, we like to talk about our issues in silos, but there's actually a deep intersection between those issues, right? I was saying last year, every place that I was terrified that we were going to start criminalizing the poverty that the COVID-19 pandemic is exacerbating, right? Because we have a long history of that. Back in 2010, it was 1 in 10 arrests by the LAPD was somebody who was unhoused. Now it's better than 1 in 5, right? And that's not a coincidence. It's a reflection of the investments we're making in some of our civic infrastructures. Thankfully, under the leadership of Councilmember Harris Dawson and others, we've allocated some funds from the LAPD to go towards things that will alleviate poverty and promote well-being in our communities, try to get more folks off the streets. And thanks to the passage of Measure J, of which Blade played a large part of, and many others, we've been able to direct hundreds of millions of dollars towards more affordable housing, small business support, youth development, and alternatives to incarceration, so that we can build out a framework of care and well-being, piggybacking off of the generational work of shutting down the constructions of jails with Justice LA, Measure R's, and others. Hopefully we can start to reverse this trend. I think the tide is moving, and I think our criminal justice reimagining is going hand in hand with getting folks off the streets, and we've just got to continue to double down and make those right investments.